Hey guys, and welcome to another video of building a better antivirus version 2. This is Make Our Engine part 1. So this is where we left off last time. Other than the annotation at the top, it's exactly the same. So we're going to jump straight in, and we need to add a few things. Not a form, so ignore this. So we need to add a couple of new units. We're going to have to break this down into smaller pieces. So this is part 1 of building an engine. There's probably going to be 3 parts at this rate. Simply because my laptop can't handle rendering more than a 30-minute long video, and I think this is like 35 minutes. So we're just going to make a new folder and call it engine, and then we're going to make a new. We're going to name our file scan_engine_core, this one. So this is going to hold the core functions. We're going to save, and we're going to make another one. So another unit, and we're going to save this one. And we're going to save this as scan_utils in the same folder named engine. So these will slowly become more useful as we build on top of these. So now we have them too. This is the last version from season 1, and although we can't use a lot of this, or we can't use some of it because it contains form calls and calls to graphics that we're not going to have, so we can use some of it, and we're going to pick and choose what we want. So we want some of these users, but we don't want all of them, and this is just going to save us a lot of time. And as we coded it in the last season, we might as well use it as a starting block. So we're going to import we're going to bring back our uses. Don't put them in the wrong place like I just have. Yep, there you go, wrong place. So drag them down. As you guys will soon see, this is going to become more apparent as the season goes on. I will keep copying this annotation at the top. Purely because I've written it, and I'm sick to death of people copying my YouTube videos already. So now we have these two. We might, we're going to make a config file. And so we're going to copy all these out. Pretty much everything other than this scan files function, and because the rest of it was designed to work without the GUI from the first version. If you don't know about the first version, please go and watch it. You'll learn a lot that was required to do this. So we're going to paste all these in, and that saves us a lot of time recoding all of them. And then some of them are not going to change. The basic set file size, check if it's above the file size we allocate, they're never going to change. So we're also going to take the search folder and the total count out as well. These will be used again in this project. As we're building the same thing, we're just building a better version, a better architecture this time. And so you'll notice that we get a few errors. There's no scan file, and we don't have a certain variable yet. So we'll make that in a minute. We'll just fix it. So we're going to take pretty much all of these declared functions, because, well, once again, we copied all of the functions, so we might as well copy all of the declares back. Someone will be asking why I didn't just add the file to the folder, because I didn't want it named the same as the last time. So we need to add, we'll add these in another file, I think. So we're going to take that one out. We can't use it, like I said. And that gets rid of that, and we commented out the line that makes it active. Now we're going to add our configure file, I'm going to go back over to our config files, and we're going to add our variable that's missing, which is our max file limit, or just file limit. And that's just going to be a integer variable. If you watch the last series, you'll understand what it does. If you don't, go back and watch it. So that pretty much covers our utils that we want. And moving on from our utils, we're going to go back to our core here, and we're going to start redeveloping our core. Now, last year, some of you guys will remember that we made a scan manager. So this time I'm just going to open it in Delphi. I can't be bothered to do this whole notepad. We made a scan manager. The scan core is going to do pretty much the same thing, except for we didn't want to call it that, you know. Not just that, we're going to put in some more features like scanning processes later on, and predetermined or preset scanning patterns. So most of you will be familiar with the quick scan, full scan, deep scan, whatever you want to call it, that comes with most products nowadays. So we'll be adding them later, and it just didn't seem right to put them in a manager form. So once again, we're going to copy the uses because I can't be bothered to type. It is I'm recording this on Saturday for Sunday, so I can't be bothered. It's my weekend. So we need to add our engine utils, the config file, and pretty much I just want to change the naming of this thread. When I was developing it in quite a rush, and some things weren't named particularly great. And as you'll see as the series goes on, the name is really going to be critical. And as we're using our scan engine for more than one feature this year, it's going to be more critical that we keep certain things. So we want to, like last year, we still need the variable is the scanner running. This is to ensure that we don't start multiple threads at once, all doing the same thing, or clashing and all sorts. So other than that, we might come back and get some more of this in a minute. Other than that, we don't want much more of this. So as you can see, there's a lot of calls to form 1, form 1, form 1. Well, being that this is a service and it's not in the users mode, there is no form 1. So we want this bit, we want the basic check, and I'm not going to bother copying the process name out, and I'm just going to, or the procedure names, I'm just going to type it out again. It wouldn't have worked anyway because we changed the thread name. So we're simply going to check whether our thread is running already, and we do need to make some changes here. This year we'll be using named pipes instead of our direct calls to the GUI. So a named pipe is quite basic. It's like a socket, really. You can send text down it, and those texts, the short messages that we'll code in a minute, will determine exactly what the client's going to do. So we're going to recreate a similar thing to what's in the last one. And really, I didn't see any point in recoding this just yet. It works pretty well as it is, and hence, if it works, why change it? So we're just going to check if it's in a folder, and else if it's not, we're going to assume it's in a file. We're just going to assume it's a file. Oh wait, what did we do last time? Let me have a look. We did a second check. Actually, I enjoy this more. Right, we're going to take the old version. But we're actually going to have to gut more of it out. I prefer the old version by the look of it. So, as you can see, everything that has Form 1 is just gone ballistic. So we're going to start deleting some of these Form 1s because Form 1 doesn't exist. See, all of these messages that we push to the screen are going to have to be sent via the pipe, because having two applications running, they're not going to line up. However, we still need them to talk to each other to ensure that one, our client stays up to date, which is kind of the idea, and two, our service gives our client the correct information. So we're going to put some, I don't know if, no, we're not going to put them here, we're going to put them in, we're going to make another unit. So just to keep everything nice and tidy, we're going to make another unit, and we're going to stick all of our variables in it. So there's no surprise, we're going to call it scan_engine_vars, and we're going to use this to store our current variables. So as the scan engine is working, we need to know certain things. So the total number of objects when we start, which is an integer. We're going to set it to a default of 0, and we need a few other things. We can delete this. In fact, we might as well delete most of this. We need the total count. We're going to need to replace all of these calls anyway, and we're going to do the same. Yeah, we can just delete that one as well. We'll just have to put it back. So we're going to delete all these Form 1s. We're going to delete all of these this side of the scan function. We're just going to tack the scan function out because we don't have one currently. And we're going to need more variables, so we might as well put them in now. So we need the current number of objects. I don't know whether to put these as a prefix. So we also need a current, oh no, I'm going to put them as a prefix. We're going to make it look good from the start. So prefixing is just an easy way to, is putting something in front of the name of everything so you know where it's from. So we're going to put scan_engine in front of all of these, just so that at a glance at the code you understand where it's from and what it's doing. I think that would be easier for people who are following this to actually keep up with. So we need a variable of current object. This is so we can tell the client scan page exactly what we're at currently, what file we have. As your antivirus updates, as you see the scan page, you'll see that the file name will change, and in the same way we want our file name to change. So we're going to need to send it the file name to tell it what object we're using. And at the same time we need to know how many files have been detected and a few other things. So the number that failed to open, which hopefully won't be too many. And let me just fix all these annoying formatting issues. And we're going to need a few more variables at certain points, so we're going to try and add them now. So we need to tell the we need to know the scan type. So for you guys who followed last year, we just had one scan type, which was custom, so we didn't bother with a scan type. But this time we're going to put in a full scan and a quick scan, which then require scan type to be used. So we also need a too big integer. So the file we attempted to scan was too big. We didn't put a current variable for that one. And we need another one. So we need to know the parameter string that was used to start it. So if we're scanning as a custom, we need to know whether we were scanning C, we were scanning D, whether we were scanning a specific folder. And we're just going to go through and we're just going to assign the variables a blank string pretty much. They would have had a blank string anyway, but depending on whether you'd scanned something before, they might have a blank string, but we're going to have to write a reset function either way. So we need a few more variables, or we need a few constants really. Where we've tacked that message out, we need to have a feature that sends it back. So thinking about that, we need to create a new function, and we're going to leave this function mostly empty, and we're going to call it update client, or update client. Yeah, and we're going to pass it a message string, as we're going to call our variable message string, and it's just going to be a general string, and we're just going to begin it and end it, and we're just going to put 2 comments in the middle so it doesn't get rid of it because we're not using it. So this is where we're going to send information to our client pipe. So our client that's running with our users is going to have a pipe, and we're just going to send a message down the pipe whenever this function is called. So we're going to declare it in with the bunch at the bottom nicely, like that. And then we can come back to our scan core, or a scan engine core, where we had this error message. We are simply going to put a line below it, or above it, and we're going to call this the function the empty function we just put. So we need to send the client a message, and to ensure that I don't really want to use a long text string. It needs to know it's an error. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to add another unit, and we're going to save this in between both projects as a shared, I think, yeah. So we're going to call this named pipe. So we're going to create ourselves a folder and call it name pipe commands, and we're just going to jump to the root of the project directory, and we're going to create a new folder, and we're just going to call it shared. And why are we calling it shared? Because it's going to be, oh, don't spell it like that. We're going to call it shared because it's going to be shared between the client and the service, so that way they both have the same copy of the commands used. So we're going to start by declaring a few constants, and we are going to start with errors first. Error underscore scanner underscore running, or yeah, no, let's not call it that, already running. And we're just going to give this a string with a number in it. Now why are we giving it a string with a number in it? The number's nice and short, and the fact that we are going to send a string down the pipe. So yeah, so we're going to declare it in the top. Now this might not be the most efficient way of doing this, however this seems to me the simplest way of doing it, where everyone can keep up. So why is that not Oh, I've totally got a spelling mistake somewhere, and you can't rename it. Okay, let's try and close it and rename it. Nope, you still can't rename it. Right, so we're just going to make the spelling mistake in this one as well. We hit save, and we're going to reopen it. So we need to copy this string, because this constant name is what we're going to use to tell our client what's gone wrong. So you just dump that in there, and then it knows that the scanner is already running, or it will know when we code the client that the scanner is already running. So we now get rid of that error message, as our constant name pretty much explains exactly what's going to happen. And we're going to proceed to add some more. So I started errors as 0, 0, 1, and we're going to leave 99 spaces between it in case we need to put some more errors in later. So we're going to do scan 1, scan engine message, and we're going to go for sorry guys if you can hear my laptop, it is absolutely going ballistic right now for some reason. Probably because I'm coding at the same time. So we're going to use get info, and then we're going to give that a value, and then we're going to go for yeah, and we need this one in between. So we'll leave update GUI empty because I don't quite know what I'm putting in there. And we're going to put scanner started, and you guys can pretty much fill in the rest for the next few lines, because we're basically going to tell the client what it would have known if it was running in the same application. So it's started, it's stopped, it's paused, we have errors. Later on we might even add one that the scanner crashed. Not that that's really what you want to hear, but at the end of the day it's better that you know it's crashed, and then you can resolve the issue rather than it crashing and you'd be like, huh? So yeah, we've added these, and the only one I can think of that we might need is to show the detected objects. So we're going to display detected, and this might seem really complicated now, but you guys are in for a surprise, because this is only ever going to get more complicated. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible for everyone, but that's not easy. So guys, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. These are 2 videos you might enjoy. And if you enjoyed these tutorials, hit that thumbs up button. And until next time.